Hello everyone, Wayne here from Think Management. This channel is all about providing you with tips and techniques for personal and professional success. So I get it. You're working from home, you're studying from home, having a hard time staying motivated and organized to get things done. Don't worry, help is on the way. Wayne here from Think Management. Welcome back. Today I want to share with you simple tips and techniques that you can use to gain your motivation and to harness that motivation, whether you're working from home or schooling from home, so that you can be more productive each and every day. The first tip I want to share with you is remove the clutter from your workspace or study space. Remember, when you're trying to study, removing the clutter removes the distractions away from you. This is very important. So no matter if you're in an office that is dusty, that you've been meaning to dust and you just hadn't really gotten around to it, or you see a stack of papers that you haven't been through in a couple of weeks and they've just been sitting there and kind of piling up, or pile of receipts or whatever it may be, a lot of times taking that extra 10, 15 minutes, sometimes up to an hour, can help get you in the right mindset so that you can harness the motivation. Because here, when we start talking about motivation and how to gain motivation, one of the secret sauces of motivation is gaining momentum and building momentum and harnessing momentum, which I'm going to talk to you a little bit more here in the future. So I want to share something with you today that's very unique. I want to share with you my office and what my office looks like, so you can kind of get a brief insight of behind the scenes tour here of really what's going on. So I'm going to approach the camera and take it off the tripod here for just a second. And as you can see, I'm going to scan around, and I just want you to kind of see a little bit about the organization. There's going to be one paper on my desk, and that's actually what we are talking about today. And then you look at the bookshelf, how things are all stacked up nice and neat. But notice nothing on the floor, nothing in the corners. This here works for me. This works for my ideal workstation. So now I'm going to replace the camera. And now we're back. As you can see, I remove the clutter because it helps me think. I know that when other people have removed the clutter from their office or their desk station or their study station, they've learned that they can think clearly. Remember, it's not necessarily about how long you study. It's the productivity that you have while you're in your zone studying or working from home. Tip number 2, having a flexible to-do list. So let's go through a brief example here, and let's apply a flexible to-do list. Let's say you have 3 topics to complete in one day, and each topic is task 1, task 2, task 3, and you assign an hour to each topic, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 9 to 10, and 10 to 11. Well, as you start on task 1, let's say it's sending an email with a PDF document attached to it while you gather a few information points for your email. Well, you quickly realize about 8:15 that you're missing a key element of your email, so you send off another email to get that information point back. Well, you can't complete your task, right? So then you decide, well, now I'm going to do task 2, which was scheduled for 9 to 10, but I'm going to do it now from 8:15 and planned on to 9:15. Well, you're finished that task by 8:45, and lo and behold, by that waiting period of time to which you've already taken advantage of completing task 2, task 1, that person has emailed you back, and now you're able to complete task 1 by 9 o'clock. Hence you can start task 3 at 9 and be finished accordingly. Now, simple example, right? Well, what does that do? Having a flexible to-do list allows you to be more adaptive to your situation and your surroundings. It's very important to note that as we go through the day, particularly when we're working from home now or we're taking school from home, different obstacles and instances are going to pop up that are beyond our control. We can't control exactly each and everything that happens, right? So what we learn to do is to be adaptive in each and every one of our situations. So now the power of using an hour for each task. As each task has been completed, the hour time frame in which you allocate for each task to be completed, although some tasks may take 15 minutes, some tasks may take 30 minutes, However, some tasks could take an hour and a half. What you're doing is you're building in a window that you will complete the task, but you're creating momentum. The effort of creating momentum is a very, very powerful tool in how to gain motivation, whether you're working from home or taking school from home. One of the things that we all lack and that we all struggle with at times is making progress. Well, when we can see progress and when we can physically write out a to-do list and put a check mark beside things that are being completed, or draw a line through it and write done, which is my tactic, we see motivation being formed. And we use that and we harness that into additional items in the future. It's the same principle as the snowball effect when you're paying off debt, right? You take the debt, you pay it off, and then what you were using to pay off one debt, you snowball that into the next payment, and then you keep moving forward until all your debt's paid off. It's a very, very same principle that I hope that you can apply and learn to apply on how to gain motivation while working from home or taking school from home. Tip number 3, get in a routine. It's very important that when you're working from home and you're trying to gain that motivation and harness motivation, that you learn the power of having a routine. Whether you're an early morning riser or you tend to stay up late, you have to figure out what is more productive for you. When are you more productive? And I'll give you a big hint. It's when you have the least amount of distractions that you truly are more productive in your tasks and different circumstances. So for myself, I'm an early morning riser. I love to get up early. I get up at 2:45 every morning, start with a great workout, whether it's a run or a swim, and then I get into work roughly around 5 o'clock in the morning and then kind of move from there. Well, I have a young family. I have 2 young children, and here when they like to get up, of course, it's playtime, it's breakfast time, it's getting dressed time for the day. And I cannot be very productive during those times of the day because I am needed elsewhere to fulfill my duties as a dad here. And so one of the things that I've learned is that I'm much more efficient with my time and productivity early in the morning as opposed to late at night. Now, however, some people might feel more comfortable working and being very productive from, say, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Well, while that's much easier for other people, not so much for myself. But the power of a routine means that you can get into the grind earlier and more often, and that you focus and you train yourself to be productive during that time. Turn on what you have to turn on so that you can truly maximize your potential here. The power of a routine is very, very important in being able to gain and harness and sustain motivation each and every day. So tip 4, learn the power of working in shifts. Here's what I mean. When you sit at your desk for hours and hours at a time, or your study station, you learn that you're only productive for 1 to maybe 2 hours at a maximum limit before you kind of burn out and you need a break. One of the most powerful tools that I can teach you today is that the power of working in shifts, whether it's 1 hour, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, hour and a half, and then taking a 5-minute break, getting fresh air, going to get something to drink, stretching, whether it's listening to a song on the radio or on the TV or on YouTube or whatever it may be, and taking that mental break to relax yourself, to refocus yourself is very, very important when you want to sustain and harness motivation deep inside you. As a general rule for myself, for every 1 hour that I spend working, I get 5 minutes of a break, whether it's walking outside, getting fresh air, whatever it may be, so that I can refocus and that I can kind of readjust myself into what I'm trying to do and what task that I'm trying to accomplish. Now, while it's not always practical at different times, we all can find a brain break that is needed and what we need to do to help ourselves not only gain motivation, but to sustain that motivation and that momentum moving forward. So the final tip I would like to share with you is some days you're just not going to have it. I've had those days, you've had those days, we've all had those days. It's the days you wake up, you spill your coffee on the floor, you drop a glass on the floor and it breaks at 3 o'clock in the morning, the dog's barking, you got a mess to clean up, children are screaming. It's those days that just don't seem that anything's working right. And on top of that, guess what? Your internet's out and you can't do anything because you've relied on your internet to do everything, right? I know those days. I have them. I know you have them. Well, do not forget that all is not lost when we have days like this. We can still harness and we can still gain motivation during these days, but we have to be strategic in what we do. Such as if you have administrative tasks that going to the post office, going to the grocery store, or even getting your car washed, or even getting your study materials out for a lesson that's coming up in the future, we all know that we can do those types of tasks when we don't have the internet or when we're just not really feeling up to going through a strenuous brain activity task. Don't forget that these are the days when nothing's going right, that you can lay the foundation down for something moving forward that can help you plan, prepare to where you can gain and you can harness motivation in the future. I hope you found value in today's video. If you have, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. And don't forget to ring that bell so you become notified when I post videos in the future. Here on this channel, I post videos every Wednesday and every Friday. Once again, this is Wayne from Think Management, and you have a great day. Thank you. Removes the clutter away from you. So I want to do something real quick here, all right? I want you to see my office here and the setup that I have, how it helps me think. So, a few simple tips and techniques that you can use to motivate yourself, whether you're working from home or studying from home, to really get things done in a timely and order. You were close. You were close. You were that far. You were that far. Okay. To understand is that you must use each and every gift that you have. I don't really like the way that sounds. Okay. Made sure the mic was on. I didn't think the mic was on. Okay. Are we crooked? I don't think so.